Hello, hello. You're sitting here with True Love magazine bringing you all a woman needs. So, today I actually have a very special guest coming for a very special interview. She's known as a vision behind the Crown Music Gospel Awards, and she's the voice on Sunday mornings on Ukhozi FM. She's a businesswoman, life coach, wife, and mother, among many things. And of course, you can't forget her most flamboyant ball gowns on the red carpet. Please help me welcome Zanele Mbokazi-Nkambule. Thank you so much, Zanele, for being with us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, of course. I mean, we've had a bit of a shaky morning with your travels.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm here now.
But you're here. You've arrived. And honestly, today is just all things Zanele. We would just love to get to know you for our True Love audience. Starting with the Crown Gospel Awards. So this year is the 16th edition.
Yes.
And for the first time, it's going to be in Johannesburg at
Absolutely.
the F&B Stadium. So
Yeah.
that's massive. Can you tell us a bit about, what you're looking forward to this year and why Joburg?
The Crowns have been growing for the past 15 years. I mean, if you can build a brand and have consistency for 15 years, you must be up to something. Exactly. When we started the Crowns, our vision was very clear. We wanted to use gospel music for many things, for social cohesion, for moral regeneration, but also for poverty alleviation, and obviously to award and encourage our artists. So we thought when we celebrate 10 years, we would move to other provinces. And our idea was that we were going to start moving from one province to the other. Excuse me. But it didn't happen at that time because obviously money plays a big role. Exactly. And KwaZulu-Natal government was sponsoring us then. And we therefore said to ourselves, maybe 12 years, maybe 15, but it's 16 years. Yeah. And we said to Gauteng, we would love to, we're planning to move from KZN, Gauteng, and two other provinces were interested, and we said yes to Gauteng. So we're looking forward to an amazing, amazing show. Mm-hmm. We are in the city and the land of gold, from the gold carpet to the amazing performances that we're going to have with a touch of Soweto, since we are in F&B. Listen, it's going to be amazing, something that we've never done before.
Awesome. And after, 16 years, a vision that started in 2007, 2008.
Yes.
What do you think of the impact of the Crown Gospel Music Awards since its inception?
The impact has been huge. The impact for us, even if we don't say so ourselves, but it is the artists themselves. We have been able to unearth a number of artists, people that were not known, your Jumbos who are big stars, your Kenan Nyatis who are big stars. There's so many of them that were first seen on our stages. Even Dr. Dumi, he had been doing very well on his own, but the moment he stepped onto the Crown stage, it changed everything. So for us, one, it is the ability to take people and give them a platform and give them a stage. Even people who do not win, they get interviews, they get recognition. For us, it is that. So that is the first thing. But two, we've been able to use gospel music for hope in our society. If you don't agree with me, go and look during COVID. We would plan concerts online and get families singing together, the hope aspect. But also every year we target certain social ills with the prayer walk, which we're having this year on the 18th of November in Joburg. So we always have a prayer walk and we target certain social ills. At some point in Durban, we were talking about people living with albinism, the killing of people living with albinism. GBV has been very central, and xenophobia. So every year there is something. I know that apparently this year we're going to be looking at GBV, we're going to be looking at issues of drug abuse. Nyawupe is huge, killing our families and our children. So that for us is the impact of the Crowns. And of course, we're now taking it to another level.
Exactly. Awesome. And I mean, touching on, you say gospel is a sign of hope. You're so involved in ministry. It's basically been your life. Can you tell us a bit about, your faith and your upbringing and how you've really managed to just uphold that?
My family, my parents did not have much. What they taught us and what they left me with as their legacy and ifa, lami was their words, and their words were words of faith. My dad used to say to me, look at me and say Jeremiah 17, and I love it in isiZulu, ubusisiwe umuntu obeka ithemba lakhe kuJehova. No themba lakhe lingoJehova. Alekisiwe themba abantu. Blessed is the man whose trust and hope is in the Lord, and cursed is the man whose trust and hope is in other people. So that sums up my upbringing. My faith, when I was very young, I literally grew up in church, and I started preaching when I was, just after varsity. I didn't even know what I was doing. Little did I know that I was being prepared for my role as a bishop's wife.
Exactly. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And, preparing you for this role as not just as a bishop's wife, but, how all-encapsulating ministry is.
True.
You've also gone into life coaching. You've gone from coaching celebrities to politicians to just the everyday South African.
I still do. Behind the scenes, coaching, I think, was a natural route for me. I started being a speaker at a very early age. Again, I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, and I would get invited. But also my story has been a testimony. My faith, my faith has been an inspiration to many other people, because I literally built my businesses on faith. So coaching, it's been 9 years now. Coaching, I call myself a turnaround coach, because that's exactly what I work on. I always want results. I'm very much results driven. And when I'm coaching somebody, whether it is personal development, whether it's starting a business, I've been an entrepreneur for 22 years. It's always centered around results, because I want to make sure that there is a turnaround. Ultimately, those who know me well, they call me a midwife of dreams. And that is what I aim to do, so that ultimately I help people to give birth to their dreams fearlessly.
Yes, and everybody loves Mazet said's consistency. Like, you're on it always. I'm curious, when it comes to your coaching, how do you kind of go into that direction, perhaps if you have clients or people who don't necessarily follow any of those kinds of faith or come from different denominations? How do you kind of navigate those conversations?
Look, faith is one thing, and faith is everything to me, my faith. However, we live in a society where people are free to believe in literally anything. So I do get a lot of clients from outside SA. Philippines, I don't know why. I've got a lot of clients from Philippines, India, and then mainly Namibia, Botswana, Nigeria, quite a lot. So I get a lot of different people. And although faith is everything to me, but my coaching is not necessarily faith-based. When I call it my turnaround course, my turnaround masterclass, it's your turnaround, personal turnaround, your financial turnaround, your spiritual turnaround. So we can skip this. Okay. It's your spiritual turnaround, but also we talk about finance, we talk about relationships turnaround. So it's holistic. And I always declare upfront that my faith, I believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but feel free to believe in what you believe in. Usually, and I'm being honest, usually by the time we finish the process with the person, they start saying, I think I love your God.
Really?
Yeah. I love your God. Some of them do change, some of them don't, but I always love that, because we are ambassadors. And sometimes it's not what we say, but it's what we do. We are living ambassadors. Our Lord doesn't come down on earth and walk amongst us, but we are here to represent. We are in this world, but not of this world. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it takes me back to a quote of yours that lives rent-free in my head. You've said, to have what I've never had, I have to do what I've never done. Exactly. Can you tell us a bit about some of the things that you've had to do?
It's so funny.
That you've never
I was saying that yesterday to students who are about to write their exams. And I said to them, what were your results last term and last year, and they were all sharing with me, and I said, now, what do you want to see? I really want to pass. I want 3 A's, blah, blah, blah. I said, then you have to do what you've never done. Mm-hmm. So you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. I always say this. I meet a lot of women who come and say, look, I really want my life. I know I'm born for more, but I'm going round and round in circles, or I'm being abused, or my relationship. Then I ask, what is it that you have done that is different? Mm. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. In order for you to have what you've never had before, you have to do what you've never done. And that includes moving from your comfort zone. It includes changing your mindset completely. It includes making sure that you first, intentionally, it can't be a mistake. It can't be a by the way. Mm-hmm. You have to intentionally make that strong decision. When you are able to make fundamental decisions, remember what I said to you. I said to you, what I do is help people go for their dreams, give birth to their God-given dreams fearlessly. Yes. Underline that. Mm-hmm. So first, I help people to be fearless. Now, you can't be fearless if you don't know who you are. You have to start by knowing who you are. Then you need to know whose you are. Then you need to understand your purpose before you can be fearless. Because once you know who you are, you can be fearless. Mina, I am. I can push this wall and it will fall because I know whose I am. So I use also to be a bit scared, imposter syndrome now and again. But, talk to me now, girl. I'm fearless. I am fearless. I'm unstoppable.
It's all about that letting go of that fear of the unknown.
Exactly. Mm. And knowing who you are. I know who I am. I know why I'm in this world. I know exactly why I'm here. And I know the legacy I'm going to leave. Shut me down, kill me, silence me. My words will live forever.
And that's all we have, folks. I'm just I love the passion. It's infectious. It really is. Through all of your ventures, your coaching and everything, you've obviously been in the public eye for quite some time throughout your career. And, people say all of these, outlandish things.
True.
So you're a sangoma, all of these things. How do you deal with hearing these random bits of hearsay? Oh my goodness,
that one was special. The sangoma one was quite special because I'm sitting at home, and funny enough, that day it was a rare occasion because we were all at home, literally everyone, all my kids, my husband, everyone. And my niece comes to the living room and she's got her phone and she says, "Oops." I'm like, what? She said, I didn't even know the guy. Can't remember his name. I knew nothing about him. And he says, look, you're trending, girl. She's laughing. You trending, girl. I'm like, trending? What? He said, and I read, Zanele Mbokazi is not longer at home. She is Nokobela. She's training to be a sangoma. I'm like, what? And I responded immediately. And I think that helped because then that was the segment that started trending again, because I was like, hey, who the hell are you? I'm sitting at home, guy. If you want to score points or to have more people following you, ayingami buti lalela asazani. Okay? Ngiyakholwa mina, ngiyamthanda uNkulunkulu ungangisukeli. I had to say that. But other than that, people are free to say what they want to say. You cannot police people. You cannot always stop people from being bored. A lot of people are bored. People have phones. People are at home. People are bored. People write whatever. Social media has given people the confidence to say literally anything hiding behind the screen. Something that they will never say when they're sitting with you like this. So there's nothing that you can do about that. However, don't allow those voices to change who you are. Yes. Don't allow those voices to stop you. Don't allow those voices to dictate how you're going to live your life. Let people write whatever they write. Take another step forward. Let people write whatever they want to write. Move to another level. Make more money. Make more revenue. Make more impact. That is what I say to the people I coach.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
Keep pushing, girl.
Exactly. What do you say, though, to those people who might come up with these stories or who might question some of your practices? What do you say to them?
Look, I think just live your truth. Just live your truth. People, sometimes, a lot of people who would say those things, negative things, are people who don't even know you. People who don't know you, who will claim that they know you. And people forget that social media, they follow you. And they sincerely believe that they don't know you. Listen, social media, we decide which chapter we show you. So you don't, believe me, the people that you think you know, simply because you've been following them for 5 years on social media, you still don't know them. So you just have to live your truth and be you, be you, because otherwise, I always say to people, do not let other people's perceptions of you become your own reality. Run away from that. Just run away from that. Just keep doing. Your legacy will speak for itself.
Exactly.
Your impact will speak for itself.
Exactly. And speaking of legacy, you have such a beautiful family. I want to touch a bit about your family life. And as you say, you're a bishop's wife. You've been with Bishop Mbokazi-Nkambule.
Yes.
How long have you been together, and how do you keep that spark alive?
We've been married for 13 years now. I love him. Oh, I love my hubby. How do we keep the spark alive? One, we work together. We do coaching for couples together, the Kwazela one. We've been doing that, from just before we got married, when we started with the singles. Now we do couples as well. We do premarital counseling because we believe that people need to know exactly what they're getting into, not just for them to come to us when they have problems afterwards. And we believe premarital counseling, if done properly, really, really helps. So we enjoy that more. We enjoy working with couples just when they are still excited, lobola, membeso, and all those things. But how do we keep it going? We're very real. Our home is a home of laughter. We're very real. We ourselves. We no manga story, no faking anything. But also we're busy. The two of us are extremely busy. I always tell couples, get busy, guys. There's nothing, well, I'm talking for myself. There's nothing like having a friend or a partner who is not busy. Every minute, where are you? What are you doing? You didn't answer my call. I'm busy. Get busy. Get busy. Angengwazi. So we always laugh about that when we share with couples, that guys, go visit your parents, do something sometimes, and come back. Let me miss you.
Yes.
Tina, we are so busy. Bishop travels a lot. He is traveling in and out of different African countries. He's in the US, he's in Qatar, he preaches, he speaks. And I love that about us. Then I will miss him. And we meet again, we work together. He is my bishop. He is the person to go to in terms of counsel on many other things other than just the religious side of things. Okay. He is a speaker, and he's better than me in speaking. He's also a coach for men. He works with men. They come at 3 a.m. and 12 p.m. Wow. So I love that about him. We complement each other, I think. We really, really complement each other. We don't compete. He doesn't like what I do in terms of business. He's not in business. He's a farmer. Or he is in business because he's a farmer. He just loves his farming and his preaching. That's it. Unlike me, who's got many pots that are boiling at the same time.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And, as you say, like, you're a unit, but you have your own individual goals, dreams that you work towards to achieve.
Yes.
What lessons do you hope to impart on your children, not just with your career life, but, the nitty-gritty at home?
I think when I look at my kids, I already see a lot of me in them. They literally grew up in events, in the event space. I guess they didn't have a choice. When they were 3, 4, they would be with me preparing for an event, literally sometimes be with me on site until 3 a.m. and they will also be putting on a tablecloth or something. So they understand events. I mean, I think they can now literally contribute big in terms of the running of the crowns, because that's something that they know.
Okay.
They've learned hard work, that it pays. They've learned the foundation of faith. They understand. They don't need to wait for Bishop or myself when they have a headache. They know what to do. They know how to fight in the spiritual realm. They understand those things. But they also understand planning. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. They understand those things. In fact, they sing that back to me. When I do something, they say, "Ma, attention to detail." So I laugh, because those are the things that I have said to them over and over again. It's a pity that both of them are entering the entertainment and creative sector.
Why do you say it's a pity?
No, I don't know. I had hoped that they would go in a totally different direction, but my daughter is already an actress. My son is editing, doing his final year as an editor in film. So yeah, they've decided to follow, although it's slightly different from what I'm doing, but it's the same industry. And I sincerely believe that we've done well. With Bishop on my side, I think the foundation that we've given them will make them to be able to stand on their own and be able to navigate life, because it is not easy out there.
Exactly.
No, it's not easy.
And, as you say, you've got many pots boiling. You've got your hand. You wear many different hats in this industry, in many different industries, actually. You recently, earlier this year, you went back to Ukhozi FM. So can you tell me, after not being there for, the past 20 years or so, were there any surprises, any shocks being back in, that kind of limelight, so to speak?
It's actually amazing. I left Ukhozi 23 years ago. 23 years ago. But the audience, Ukhozi listeners, most of them, never allowed me to go, because whenever I met them, I was still Zanele, umazazet, wasokhozini. And some would even say, "Ave ngikuthanda Ukhozini, bengikulalela izolo." And I'm like, when are you going back to Ukhozi? 23 years. And when Ukhozi called me to come back, it was not a difficult one, because one, it's something that I love. I was born to speak. I was born to use my voice and my pen. Those are the two things. My voice and my pen are my biggest weapons. So when Ukhozi called me back, and it was an easy yes, because I love this. But when I went back, obviously the audiences have changed. Young people, they're more young people. So I had to adjust. I had to learn the new lingo. Fortunately, I still do gospel music, and gospel has remained the same. The Jesus we talk about on the show Eshilo on Sundays is the one that I was talking about 23 years ago. So nothing in that front has changed. But how you communicate and how you imagine your audience, it has changed. So you need to be able to bring back, for me it's been difficult, because I need to bring back that person who used to listen to me 23 years ago, so that, because they're excited to have me back, I have to make sure I win them back again. But now I need to be able to speak to this young person who doesn't know me as a radio presenter. My daughter is 23. She doesn't know me as a radio presenter. She was 1 when I left. So how do I speak to her? What is it that they like? What is the lingo? When I play the music, what kind of music will appeal to her? But what kind of music will appeal to that gogo who's also listening? And when I articulate some of the things that are biblically driven, how do I make it acceptable to this young person? And it's a very diverse audience that listens to that program, just as diverse program that loves the Crown Awards. Because anything with gospel, you've got your LSM 0 to LSM 35. It's everyone in between. So you just have to try this, try that, try this. eventually you get it right and see who's listening. But I love what I'm doing on Mbokazi FM. And I just love being back on radio.
Awesome. And I actually want to pick your brain a little bit about something. When you speak about having such diverse audiences listening to your show, how do you think that we can bridge the gap between the youth in South Africa and, some of the older generations, especially with national elections coming up next year?
Speak to them. Don't talk about them.
Exactly.
Talk to them. Talk with them. Dialogue with them. This generation, 2000 are about why. Why should I do that? Why must I go and vote? Why, must I switch off the lights now? Why? They are why. And don't shut them down. Listen, talk to them, reason with them. They are another generation. They want to know why they must go to church. Why? Why? Everything. Why they must eat on the table with everyone. They ask, they question, they are inquisitive. Respond accordingly. Don't say shut up. You don't say that to adults. Guys, you're going to lose this generation. Speak to them. Engage with them. Talk to them. Let them ask the questions. Tina, when we grew up, the elderly adults will say to us, you don't ask, you don't question me. These guys, it's a totally different thing. Why, ma? Why? Ooh, it drives me crazy. But why? It's a generation of why. Yes. So speak to them. For me to bridge the gap, give them facts. Don't assume they're too young. That's another mistake we make. Reason with them. Talk to them. They don't care about what happened pre-1994. They were not there. They're not like us who have that loyalty to, what happened, what the struggle credentials, if you like. So talk to them, tell them. They're going to ask you, but what about our roads? What about this? Why do we have load shedding? Explain to them. Take them in your confidence and explain to them. If we think posters are going to convince them, if we think big rallies are going to convince them, you have big rallies there, they're sitting on their phones and they're talking to people overseas. And they're worried about their careers. They're worried about, I'm studying, but am I going to work? Am I going to find work? Am I even going to be able to start a business in this country? So speak to them about their pain points. Yes. If you don't do that, you're going to lose them.
Exactly. And, you've, with 4 books published, you must have been able to touch on so many different kinds of subjects.
True.
And, there's been whispers that there's one in the works as well, coming up soon.
You've done your homework, girl. You've done your homework. Impressive. I've got 4 books. Push, that's the one that was really a bestseller. Push, you're closer than you think. The battle is not yours. Before the vows, the one we wrote with Bishop for singles. And Dear Daughter, I love that one. Every parent who's got a daughter, you need to give them that book, Dear Daughter. I'm doing Dream Again.
Wow.
The book that is coming out soon, it's called Dream Again and Bounce Back. And it's for everyone. Because in my coaching classes, a lot of people, they're so gifted. They're so talented. Some are so anointed, but they're just not where they're supposed to be. They are in businesses that they don't like. They are in jobs that they don't like. They know that there's more. They're born for more. Most of them are secretly tired of watching people that are less talented than them, sometimes less educated, less, but doing far better than them.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, hey, don't compete with others. Don't be depressed about it. Do something about it. You can dream again. And I give them tools in this new book, how you can dream again. What are the steps for you to change your life? Don't complain. Do something about it. Dream again and bounce back. I don't know what people need to bounce back from. Some is from a failed relationship. Some it's regrets on things they were supposed to do that they didn't do. Some they had all the opportunities. They messed up. Some didn't get the opportunities. Some have been procrastinating forever. It's a whole lot. But I'm simply saying, Doesn't matter what you've done or what you've not done. You can still, even if you're 70, you can still dream again and change your life. So that's my next book that is coming up.
Oh, that is so exciting. Hopefully we can get a copy of this side.
Please. I hope you will call me again to talk about dream again.
I would love to. And you do with so many hands and so many different facets of media. Would you get into film and television? I mean, we saw a little snippet of your Real Housewives of Durban season 1. Might we get a little more insight into that?
You will. It is our next level for the Crowns. When we started the Crowns, we wanted to do the awards. We wanted to do the conference, the empowerment side. Then we wanted to take gospel to theatre. We've just done that with a production called Maria. Okay. Beautiful theatre production. And now we're moving into film and TV. So, yes, something is in the pipeline. You're going to see something in that regard. I think it... Don't quote me on this one. I think it's probably the last thing I'll ever do. But I'm working on it. Don't quote me on this one because my kids said, wow. When I said, this is the project that I'm going to be working on. It's going to be the last one that I'm going to focus on. And they said, yeah, sure. Right, amazing. Yes, we're working on something. We're cooking something.
That is so exciting.
We're cooking something. You know, I've spoken. I've been writing. Now, let's take it to the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Lastly, I'm just going to ask you a few rapid fire questions for our social media.
All right.
Looking for that. Awesome. So, firstly, what is something that your followers or supporters wouldn't know about you?
They don't know that I love culture and ngiyayishaya ingoma. Ngiyasina kakhulu. So take off these shoes and you will see Zanele wasetonut.
Oh, we love that. What would you say is maybe the weirdest thing a fan has ever done to you or when you've interacted with a fan?
Gee, there are many weird things that fans have done. From kissing me in the mouth. Ooh. Yeah, at the airport. Yeah, and you like... to sending me money. But I don't know if that is weird because it's weird because it was somebody that I didn't know, but apparently I had touched them in a special way in something that I had said like 3 years ago. And when they manifested, they decided to send me quite a good money. Oh, wow. And I had to track them down and they didn't want to be known. I didn't know. And they said, no, God told them that they should do this. And they didn't want me to know who they were. Up until today, I still don't know.
That's crazy. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. That was like, okay, all right.
That is very cool.
I still don't know who it was, but bless you, I really enjoyed that money.
Love that. What would you say is the book that is currently on your nightstand or that you're currently reading?
Gee, what am I reading at present? There's 3 books on my table that I have not finished. You start, you put them aside, you put them aside. But you will not believe, I'm reading an old book right now by T.D. Jakes, So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the new one, but I'm reading that old one.
The original.
Yeah.
We love that. And what would you say is the most expensive thing in your wardrobe and your favorite piece of clothing?
Obviously, my ball gowns, my evening wear. It's payback time. When I grew up, I wasn't able to afford them. So, yeah, my evening gowns. You know, don't give me jeans and stuff. I don't know how to put those together, but call me for an evening outfit. Yeah.
And can you plug us? Who's your go-to for those evening gowns?
2 people. There's Troy, who is based here in Johannesburg, and there's Nonjabulo, my niece. So 2 people.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
If it's not Troy, it is Nonjabulo. Yes.
Beautiful. And they really understood the assignment.
I don't have to tell them anything. We fight with them in terms of colors and stuff. But other than that, they just know my body. They know me. So can't wait for the crowns.
I love that. And lastly, for the viewers, can you tell us your signature fragrance? Since you love to smell good.
For years, I can have 13 bottles of different fragrances at home. But my go-to fragrance will always be Chanel number 5. You know,
An absolute classic,
yeah,
honestly.
absolute classic. I love it. I really love it.
Of course, beautiful. Thank you so much, Zanele, for joining us today, for coming all the way up from Durban to Joburg just for this beautiful conversation. It was so lovely.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. And thank you for being here and for watching. And hopefully we will see you next time.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciated this. And I just want to say to you, to your readers especially, and your viewers, it's not too late to dream again.
Exactly.
Just dream again, and you will bounce back.
You heard it first here. Thank you.